Hey guys, how's it going? Um, Good afternoon, I think, whenever you're watching this. I'm recording this Saturday afternoon, if that makes any difference whatsoever. Um, so last night I attended the inaugural show put on um, by Greg Chilton, Alice Goris, and Natalie Quirk, representing the Metal Brigade, Midwest Metal Promotions, and Ritual Madness podcast at the Skyway Theater. This was their inaugural show. They're going to be doing more there. This is the first one. I think they have, I think 3 or 4 more booked already, and then more in the works, I'm sure. So yeah, it was a good time. I almost didn't go. It's been work has just been nuts, and by the time I got to Friday, I was like, I didn't know if I wanted people tonight. But I went, and I'm glad I did, because I got to see more bands that I didn't know, because I only know one band on the bill. So I got introduced to more bands. Got to talk to Natalie for a little bit, and Greg for a little bit, and Jason from TRITA, and James Schmidt was there, and yeah, it was a good time. So first up was a band I've heard the name of quite a bit, but I've never seen them, and that is King Goro. Check them out.
Yeah, fuck yeah, tip your bartender for this liquid gold.
Yeah.
We got some Pee Wee Herman shit. Just be sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya. Yeah, so musically not something I would usually get into, the more kind of grindcore, and I say that not knowing if they actually define themselves as grindcore, just because I don't think their longest song was a medley, and it was like 3 minutes long, so that's why I call them that, because grindcore is notorious for little to be short songs. But it was good though, and their stage presence is really good. They're really casual on stage and really funny on stage, and they're just a good time. They're just fun. Next up is Daigoro. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And they were good too. Check them out.
We got some CDs and t-shirts and shit back there. We got a brand new fucking t-shirt. Fucking shout out to fucking Deterioration Boys. Jim and Joe fucking printing out some new fucking shirts. Fuck. It's been like two and a half years. I'm not sure if I remember how to actually fucking do this shit. For a total intro.
Get an anxiety attack, you better do this.
It's called Apocalyptic Metamorphosis. It's about the plague.
So this was their first show in a couple years, like a lot of people's first show in a couple years. Thank you, COVID. I mean, they were good too. They had a different kind of vibe. I mean, as you saw, it was heavy. It was all the things that you need. And they had a very kind of like, if you don't like it, fuck you kind of attitude on stage. Which I can appreciate. And their drummer. Okay, I have to talk about this. And I don't know if in the clip, it's the song I got had any blast beats in it, but their drummer, when he was doing his blasting, did something, and gonna get drum geeky for a second. So basically, it looked like he was playing normal, but for every single stroke of his snare hand, 4 beats were coming out. So it looked like he was just da-da-da-da-da-da, but like 4 beats were coming out on every snare stroke. I'd never seen anyone play blast like that before. So that was impressive. So I don't know your name, but good on you, dude. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Next up was the only band I got merch from, actually, a band called Cobra Czar, who were quite good, and they were again interesting, a little different, a little, do what you will, but very impressive. Let's shake that out a little bit. So we got that, and that, I mean, and again, no offense to any other bands, this is the only piece of merch I saw that I was like drawn to, that I was like, oh yeah, I think I need one of those. They were cool, and check them out.
We are Cobra Czar. We're happy to be here, and I hope everyone else is as well. Minor technical difficulties to start, but we'll continue to do what we do.
And of course, last up on the bill, and I've talked about them so many times. I could do, yeah, so much on these guys because, in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of people I've talked to, they are one of the, if not the best band in the cities right now. And then, of course, our friends TRITA, and they put on what I said to Jason afterwards, the smokiest, because they always use fog machines for atmosphere, but this one, this time I think because they were on a bigger stage and in a different kind of environment, and I've seen them before in almost more of a theater setting. It seemed like a lot more smoke, and when they went to start, so the Skyway set up, at least was it Studio B is set up. They have a really nice stage and really good sound, but minimal lighting, which is okay, because you don't need a ton of lighting. They just have a couple in the back and then a row in the front, and for the whole night those are on yellow. So the only lights you had on the stage, I mean, I don't know what lights they were shooting from the front. I couldn't really see white lights, maybe, I don't know. But the lights in the back were yellow. And so when TRITA started their set, and they always have lights on stage, like floodlights on stage, like green and red, I believe. And then Taylor, the bass player, has blue lights around his cabinet. So when they started the show, they dropped all the other lights. So all they had was the floodlights on stage and a ton of smoke, and it was really cool. You couldn't see Mike the drummer at all. He was completely whitewashed. So Jason on one side and Taylor on the other, and they were kind of silhouetted kind of through the smoke in the flood. It was so, I wish I would have gotten pictures. If anybody has pictures of that, yeah, because that was awesome. And then, so it was the smokiest TRITA show I'd ever seen, and probably the loudest TRITA show I've ever seen. And volume is definitely part, an essential part of their sound. It's just the sheer noise of it, and not in a bad way, because you get lost in it and it just goes over you, and no, it's awesome. But this is definitely one of the loudest probably TRITA shows I've seen. Check it out.
First song we ever wrote together, and we might fuck it up.
Yeah. And I mean, the odd part about doing these reviews, and especially with TRITA, is that I never remember what songs I've shared before. And it's not like they're a band that's so precise they never play the same song, exactly the same way. Because if I could give you, 5 versions of, Intent, which are Intent, or Last Floating Stage, or whatever, they would all be slightly different. But I never remember which ones I share with you guys. So if there's some repeats, it's okay. Just go see them anyway. I was talking to Jason beforehand, and they're gonna kind of take a pause on live shows for a minute, because they've got a bunch of stuff ready that they just want to get in and record and pound that out and do another release, which would be awesome. Yeah. What else? I was talking to when I went and got the T-shirt from Cobra Czar. I was talking to their bass player, and they've got a couple of big shows coming up. One of the Caboos, I don't remember the date, either in April or May. They're opening up for, or one of the bands opening up for Gotor. So that should be fun. And I don't remember the other one he said. God damn it. But that's all right. Oh yeah, and of course I ran into, I don't know what that was. Natalie was there from Midwest Metal Promotions, and she gave me some flyers. Of course, her Midwest Death Fest was coming up, so I'll put these up around the Uptown area when we get closer to it. We're still a couple months out, but yeah, this lineup is absolutely insane. Just to talk about this for a second, of the 8 bands listed, I personally know 3 of them. And okay, so I mean, Sometimes I know, Agony Reigns I know, Coffin Rods I know. I've interviewed Gorgatron. I've interviewed Casket, Robbery. So I kind of know those guys. The other 3 I don't know. I mean, Maul, I've seen the name everywhere. Unmerciful, I know of. I've seen the name. Putrid Fowl, I don't know at all. But apparently it's just like a single individual who just does a bunch of shit and is awesome. So yeah, June 25th at the Amsterdam St. Paul. You'll be hearing more about it, I'm sure. So I have these flyers that I have to go and put up, and I will do that again later on, probably beginning of June. I'll start beginning of June, mid-June probably. I'll start putting them up. The other thing I'm curious about, for Alex and Greg and Natalie, I talked to Greg a little bit on my way, or not Greg, Alex. Talked to Alex a little bit on my way out, but then he got distracted by something else. But for you 3, I'm just curious, since this is your inaugural show and you do have more shows coming up, what were your feelings on it? Like, did it go as planned? Anything you would change? Anything you would do differently? Just throw a comment or something. I'm just curious how, because all of you have book shows on your own, obviously. So I'm just wondering if the combination of talents, what kind of a difference that makes in the booking procedure or whatnot. Just out of curiosity, Yeah, so that's all I got for now. And yeah, so as always, have a good weekend. Just be cool. Don't be a dick. I mean, there's so much dickish behavior out there now. It's just getting to the point of just stop. Just stop. And support every single one of your locals. That's all I got. Talk to you guys later.